Imagine up to 60 million of these massive animals gone. Less than 150 years ago, the American bison was almost completely wiped out. Its population collapsed from as many as 60 million down to fewer than 1,000 surviving animals. That's insane. It was a catastrophic loss. We almost lost them forever. But what if I told you that this animal is now a secret, multi-billion-dollar asset? This isn't a sad story. This is the story of one of the biggest comebacks ever. These bison are creating jobs, helping entire communities, and literally reshaping the American heartland. So forget stocks, forget crypto. I'm going to show you how the American bison became one of the most valuable animals on the entire planet. To understand why the bison is worth so much now, we have to go back in time. For 10,000 years, long before Wall Street, the bison was the entire economy for dozens of Native American nations. It was a perfect system. The bison gave them everything: food, shelter, clothes, and tools. As many as 60 million of them were the center of civilization here. Then, in the 1800s, the US government came up with a crazy and brutal plan: destroy the bison to control the Plains tribes. They didn't just hunt them, they slaughtered them on an unbelievable scale. In just a few decades, over 99% of all bison were gone. This wasn't just an environmental disaster, it was an economic apocalypse. Imagine if someone deleted the entire financial system overnight. That's what this was like for the tribes. And get this, research indicates that the tribes who relied on bison are still significantly poorer today because of it. That single act set off over a century of devastation. This history is critical because the bison's comeback isn't just about an animal. It's about fixing a 100-year-old problem. But the bison didn't go extinct. And this is where the story gets really interesting. A few private ranchers and tribal communities saved the last few hundred animals. For decades, they were little more than living museum pieces. But then people had a billion-dollar idea. What if bison could become part of a new economy? Today, the bison industry is bigger than ever. At one point, there were fewer than 1,000 bison left alive. Now, their population has recovered to around 400,000 animals. So why is this one animal worth so much? The answer is a powerful combination of benefits. Here's the most surprising part: unlike many domesticated animals, bison actually help improve the environment. They are known as a keystone species, which means they play a crucial role in keeping ecosystems healthy. The way they graze helps native grasses grow. Their hooves loosen and aerate the soil. Simply by living on the land, they help create healthier ecosystems. This is part of what is known as regenerative agriculture, a land management approach that restores soil and improves the environment. In other words, bison don't just survive on the land, they help heal it. It's almost like a cheat code for sustainable agriculture. So how does all of this turn into billions of dollars? First, raising bison is not easy. They are still semi-wild animals, which means ranchers need stronger fences, specialized equipment, and different management techniques than they would use for cattle. Getting started can be expensive, but governments and conservation programs often provide support because they recognize the value of these animals. The scale is already impressive. In states like South Dakota, large ranches and protected areas manage thousands of bison. Yet demand continues to grow. But the real importance of bison goes far beyond business. The true value of bison can be seen in three areas: economic, environmental, and cultural. And the cultural side may be the most powerful of all. For many tribal nations, bringing back the buffalo, their name for the bison, is about rebuilding their way of life. Organizations such as the Intertribal Buffalo Council are working to return bison herds to tribal lands, and the impact has been remarkable. First, it helps restore traditions that were disrupted for generations. For centuries, the buffalo was deeply connected to identity, spirituality, and community life. By managing their own herds, tribes can reconnect with their traditions, their land, and their cultural identity. Second, bison are helping create economic opportunities. Tribal communities are building bison-related businesses that generate jobs and income, with benefits that stay within the community. Some groups are even working to have bison recognized as wildlife rather than livestock, which could create even more opportunities in the future. The federal government has also begun supporting these efforts, investing millions of dollars in restoration projects led by tribal nations. And on top of all that, there's tourism. People travel from around the world to places like Yellowstone National Park and tribal lands just to see these incredible animals roaming freely across the landscape. When you combine environmental restoration, tourism, healthier ecosystems, and cultural and economic renewal for tribal nations, the true value of the bison becomes clear. Everything is connected. Healthy herds support healthy land. Healthy land supports strong communities and stronger economies. The comeback of the bison proves that it is possible to protect nature and create economic opportunities at the same time. It's one of the greatest comeback stories I've ever seen. What other amazing comeback stories should we explore next? Let me know in the comments. The story of the American bison has come full circle. It was once the heart of a thriving ecosystem, then it was pushed to the edge of extinction, and today it has become a symbol of recovery and resilience. From fewer than 1,000 animals to hundreds of thousands, its impact now reaches far beyond the Great Plains. The bison is much more than a symbol of the Old West. It is a powerful example of regenerative agriculture, responsible land management, and cultural and economic renewal. The American bison represents a rare combination of value, economic, environmental, and cultural. It is a living symbol of resilience. Its journey reminds us that sometimes the most valuable things are not the ones we create, but the ones we choose to save. The future is not always about discovering new resources. Sometimes it is about bringing back the incredible things we almost lost forever.